If you want to get a good tech job within 30 days, this is for you. Big disclaimer, this is for only those who have years of experience with their skills but are still struggling to secure a job. If you're a newbie in whatever skill you're learning, well, maybe another video. So you want to get a high-paying tech job and you have 30 days to do so. Your rent is due in 1 month, your savings will expire in the next 30 days, and you have 30 days of sanity left in you before you lose it. Here is what you need to do in the next 30 days to secure that dream tech job. Let's go. Day 1 to 3, revamp your portfolio, your CV, or your resume. You want to ensure you are up to date before you make any move. There are 3 ways to go about this. Number 1, reach out to 3 different people in your industry who are in the role you aspire to get into. Request for their resume, their portfolio, or their CV. Look through it and update yours. I'll give an example. When I was looking for a sales job role, I remember I reached out to a couple of people who were gainfully employed in dream jobs, in dream companies I wanted to get into, and I asked them to kindly send me their resumes, which they did. They were gracious enough to do so. I looked through it and tried to restructure my resume to fit into it. So this is the first step. Number 2, go through job descriptions in the companies you want to get hired in. So it's just simple. Go through a couple of companies who are hiring for the role you want to get into. I know that you've been rejected, but go through the job descriptions, look at the job descriptions, ensure that you meet up to 70% of the job requirements. So the thing with job descriptions is based on companies' preferences. You will discover that the job descriptions are a little bit different based on the company. Ensure that at least you meet up to 70% of what they require of that role in at least 5 companies. This way, you are sure that you've been able to cover some skills, some softwares that you need to know, and at the same time, you've been able to cover some requirements that whatever company you want to get hired in would demand from you. Number 3, get someone to audit your CV. Now, it could be 1 or 2 ways. It's either you pay professional CV experts to help you audit your CV and build another one, or you could also reach out to somebody who is already in that field to audit your CV. Once again, while I got people to send me their CV, after I was done creating my own CV, I reached out to people who were gainfully employed in that particular role, and I asked them to help me audit my CV. They came up with a lot of corrections and still gave me more suggestions, which was able to help me tailor my CV to really meet into the role. Day 4 to day 10, create a list of 50 to 100 companies that you want to apply to. This is going to take a lot of work, so that's why it's taking this number of days. There are 3 things you need to do. Number 1, go to LinkedIn, Y Combinator, or any other startup accelerator and look for companies that are in your industry. For instance, if you're going to be using Y Combinator is an accelerator. You can go to Google and search for Y Combinator. Y Combinator has lots of startups that are probably in the health industry, in the tech industry, in the software industry. So if you want to work in the software industry, look for companies that just raised funding on Y Combinator. Or you can actually use LinkedIn search by searching for software companies, searching for health tech companies, healthcare companies, manufacturing companies. You're going to see a list. Create a list of, search for 50 of these companies. That's the first thing you need to do. Number 2, create this list on Google Sheets, Microsoft Word, or Microsoft Excel, whatever of these platforms that you use. Ensure that you create this list, and on this list, here is what this list will contain. It will contain the name of the company, the name of the founder or CEO of the company, and the name of the decision maker in your role. So let me break this down. It contains the name of the company, the name of the founder or the CEO of the company, then the name of the decision maker. For instance, I am in the writing industry, so whoever the decision maker in my industries are either head of content, content managers, or VP of marketing. So that's also going to be a column in that list. Then you need to also have a column for the email of the founder. Create a column for the email of the decision maker. The decision maker could be more than one. It could be like 2 or 3 that you know that these people are the ones that influences people getting hired or how things operate in the role you want to get in. Number 3, install apollo.io. Apollo.io is a Chrome extension I've been using for the past 3 years. It helps you fetch the emails of people on LinkedIn directly. So here is how it works. Go to Google and search for Apollo.io Chrome extension. You're going to see it, click on it, download it, and add it to your Chrome. What it does is each time you open LinkedIn and you open a profile, it automatically brings out the email address and the phone number of the people that you search for. So what you want to do is you want to ensure that this list is really up to date with both the names and the emails of the people that you want to reach out to. So you've created the list of these people, you've added it to the sheets, then you're using Apollo.io to get their emails to build the list, because I'm going to be talking about something that you need to do. But ensure that you use Apollo.io. It is not 100% correct. Not all the emails are going to be correct, but it still makes a lot of sense. And by the way, if this is the first time you're just watching my video, I want you to like this video and share with some of your friends, and stay tuned while I explain other things that you need to do in the next 30 days to ensure that you get your dream job after 30 days. Day 10. Firstly, network with the peers in your role or in your industry. What this means is you can join Slack communities, Telegram communities, even on LinkedIn, Facebook communities, where it is saturated with people who are your peers that are probably employed or also job seeking. But it's best to always connect with people who already have good employment or good jobs in the role you aspire to get into. So network with them, reach out to them on Slack. They are on Slack, Telegram channels. Send a direct message to them, ask them if they can spare you free time. This are the things that I did. Ask them if they can spare you free time, and ask questions about getting hired. I remembered I almost got a role in 2021. I'm going to talk about that in another video, so always ensure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you will not miss it. How I almost got a 70k role by just reaching out to somebody who was gainfully employed in a company, and she shared me some secrets in order to get employed. I was able to pass the the interview stage down to the final stage, but we were two at the final stage and they chose the other person. However, it made good sense because I was able to get a lot of information that helped me scale through the first 3 stages. So day 10 to 15, you need to network with the peers in your industry in order to get a lot of information about getting in through the door in your industry. Also, network with decision makers in your industries. You can also still do this via Slack communities. Slack communities has really been very useful to me because I joined Slack communities of people in my niche, and I've been able to meet decision makers, head of content, head of marketing, VP of marketing, content managers, who have been able to put myself within their radar. So that's what networking with people with decision makers does. It puts you in their radar, and at the same time, it helps you build a very solid relationship that can also lead to them putting their weight for you or recommending you. You can ask them for referrals, ask them for recommendations. Most times people are always willing to help, but people do not ask, and that is why they don't get it. So they 10 to 15, 5 days. In 5 days, network with people, with your peers. Ensure you network with as many people as possible. Also network with decision makers in your industry. You can do that on LinkedIn, whatever platform that they are saturated. Ensure you network, comment on their posts, send a DM to them, try to build a relationship in 5 days. That means the people you must reach out to must be many. Day 15 to 25. Now we are getting there. Pitch aggressively. Now in 10 days, you want to pitch to as many companies as possible and pitch the right way. That is why I said you need to get at least 50 to 100 companies that you want to reach out to. It's best to have 100 because the higher the volume of companies you reach out to, the higher your chances of getting hired. Not all these companies will need people they want to hire immediately. Some of them will want to keep you in their database. Some of them might not even have the funding to hire you. But the higher the volume of companies you reach out to, the higher the number of people you reach out to. However, day 15 to 25, pitch aggressively. I'm going to show you how you can go about it. The first thing to do is to send email pitches to the founders and to the decision makers within the company. Let me tell you how to go about it. Now you already have the list on Google Sheets, Microsoft Word, Google Doc, wherever it is, or even on a piece of paper. You have their names and their emails. It is time to pitch. In 10 days, you can pitch to 100 companies. That's pitching to 10 companies per day. And in a matter of like 5 hours, you can pitch to 10 companies in a day, or even less than 5 hours, depending on how fast you are. So what you need to do when you want to pitch is you need to create a custom email that you're going to be sending to them that would both talk about your interest in the role that you want to get hired for and your experience. But the first thing you need to do in your email is that your email subject must be really, really catchy. I'm going to display an email that I sent recently to a decision maker, and you can check it. So your email subject must be really, really catchy. Sometimes it does not even really need to talk about get me hired. It's just something to get their attention in their email inbox for them to open it and read other information. So your email subject, you should pay attention to it. Then the body of your email should not be too lengthy. Like 4 or 5 paragraphs is okay. The first paragraph, introduce yourself. The second paragraph, talk about your interest in getting hired. That's the second paragraph. The third paragraph, pitch your experience and your qualifications and the things you've done in the past. In the fourth paragraph, you can still further more pitch yourself and talk about other things that you can do for them. In the fifth paragraph, conclude and give a call to action. Would you be interested in knowing more about this? Would you be interested in talking more about this? Would you want to hire now? Are you interested in this? Let me know if you're interested. Give a call to action, because when you don't give a call to action, they might read the email and forget to give you a response. Look at the sample I displayed once again and take cue from it. I've been sending cold emails both for myself and a couple of people who want to get a job, and it has worked. Gotten number of responses and gotten a couple of jobs using this format. Also, when you've done it for the first person, first company, also reconfigure it, re-edit it to fit into the re-edit it to fit for the other companies or the other people you want to reach out to. Just ensure that you're not repeating the same words, because the people you're reaching out to are specific. They have different things that their companies are focused on. So ensure that you do your research, and that's why this thing takes time. Do your research before you make the move. Number 2 thing is to apply directly through their career page. Fine, it makes sense to send cold pitches or cold DM or cold emails directly to the founders and decision makers within companies, but it also makes sense to apply directly through career pages if they do have. If they don't have, it's fine. Just pitch directly to the founders. Sometimes they are hiring, but it is not on their career page, so it makes sense that you've sent a DM to them or like you've pitched directly to them. However, if they also still have it on their career page, there is nothing wrong with still pitching. Also, you can also further increase your chances by sending DMs directly to them. Now, you might want to ask, is this not going to be too much? Does it not sound spammy? It does not necessarily sound spammy if your cold email is not spammy. If your cold email is just a simply direct interest in a job and the fact that you have a value to offer to them, then it's not going to be seen as spammy. So if you send an email and you've pitched through their career page, there is nothing wrong with still sending a DM. If you have access to the DM of the decision maker or the founder you want to reach out to, still send a DM. Tell them introduce yourself and tell them, hey, I applied to this particular position. Let me know what you think. If they get to read it, they can send you a response. Oh, I just saw it now. We are not interested. I saw it now. We are interested. But do not shy away from also still reaching out to them via direct message if you have the opportunity or if you can get access to them through that via that. Lastly, reach out to colleagues and employees to also help you make referrals to reach out to the person you want to reach out to. So if you notice that you've not gotten a response from the person you've pitched over a couple of days, go back to the company page, look for the employees within the company by going to the company's page. Under the company's page on LinkedIn, you can see a portion there named people. Check for people, or you can just look for colleagues within the company. Use the same format, send an email to them, tell them you would like to reach out to this decision maker, to the founder, if they can connect you with the person. It has also worked for me. Remember, you have 30 days. You're trying as many things as possible. All these steps help to cement your application and ensure that you get the results you want. Day 25 to 30, follow up on pitches. Now you've pitched to 100 companies, to 50 to 100 companies, or even more. Not all of them are going to reply you the same day, in the next 2 days, in the next 3 days, because they have other things you're doing. But ensure that by the 5th day, you are doing a follow-up. Remember, you have a list, and as you're sending pitches via this list, you're ticking it. Because remember, you want to ensure that you pay attention and you keep track of every of the applications you've sent. You're ticking it. So anyone that you've not gotten a response from, those who have rejected, you can cross it. Anyone you've not gotten responses from, you can send a follow-up pitch to acknowledge if they saw your email or they ignored it. Some would respond, some would not respond. And that is why, like I said, it is very, very important that you add volume to this. Remember, once again, you want to get your dream job in 30 days. And I believe that if you follow all of these steps, dedicating the next 30 days to this, you will be guaranteed a very, very high chance, a very high percentage of securing your dream job. Did you find value in this? Share this to one or two of your friends who are currently job hunting, who have experience with their skills, but it is not really working out for them. Let them learn from this. Share this to as many people as possible. Subscribe, watch my previous video, turn on the post notification, and drop a comment if there is any other thing you want me to make a video on. Till the next video, my name is Joel, and keep working on yourself.